Mm-hmm. Do not attempt to adjust your television set. You read the title right. I'm going to put a Generation 3 Dodge Hemi in the Chevrolet Silverado. Yes. Yeah. 81% of you just went, yes. Another build. Them are fun. 19% of you have already bleep blooped down there in the comments. When are you getting back to another revival? Well, like I've said 319.2 times, they're not going anywhere. They never have, they never will. I do dozens and dozens and dozens a year, literally. That being said, I'm turning into the guy that keeps saying, oh, that's not for sale. I'm going to fix that someday. Except I literally have fields and tree rows and fields and shops and storage buildings full of cars. I'm not saving them. I'm just prolonging their death if I keep doing that, right? So I got to start building these things. So we're going to sneak them in here and there. And why not start another one with this 1982 Chevrolet Custom Deluxe? It's got a really straight body on this thing, and I've got a plan. Let's talk about it. First order of business, what am I looking at? It's a weird looking straight six with a bad head gasket, 38 horsepower, no exhaust, unknown transmission. This has got to go, right? Well, most people would say, why not put a big block or a small block Chevy or even an LS in it? But here's the thing. The LS has now become present day what small block Chevys used to be. Since the 50s, they went in every single hot rod, every make and model you can think of. They're still prominent in Ford hot rods. Well, that's what the LS has become, and they've been swapped into anything you can ever imagine, to imports, to exotics, to tanks and boats and even airplanes. It's been done. It's played out. I've even done an LS swap. So to be a little bit different, why not take another power plant and go ahead and modernize this thing and snoot up the HPs a little bit? And that's where this Gen III Hemi comes from. You know, it's got hemispherical heads in it. 16 spark plugs? I don't know. That's not a cheap tune-up, I'll tell you that. Well, here is our power plant, and this is basically Dodge's version of the LS. This is a Gen 3 5.7 liter Hemi, or 345 cubic inches, 345 horsepower. There's a few things that make this engine pretty neat though. One is it's a 2009, so I'm told that it has the distinguished eagle heads on here, which I don't know, there's extra wizardry that it's better. Okay, that's all right, great, check. Also, this is the engine that was used in Need for Speed in the car that wrecked the super expensive car that I can't pronounce. Bugatti Vectorisms, something, I don't know, it's like $1 million. It then went to Wrench Every Day in the Charger there, was also featured on Car Trek Season 8, and then ended up in the back of the Cat Farm crew cab here, getting ready to go into the Chevrolet Silverado over there. Transmission, don't know what that is. So we're going to take that off, and then we're going to put a 46RE back there because the Holley Terminator X-Max is plug and play for both the engine and that particular transmission, and they have swap accessories that's going to allow us to plop this thing right into that Chevrolet. Be dipped. There's a lot of doodabs and digicals on this, I'm going to be honest. It's everywhere. Hey, now listen, this guy here understands more than anybody that fillers and fellouts budgets are not equal. They're all over the map, and I get it. I'm still going to call this a budget build and hold myself accountable, and I'm going to build this thing as budget-friendly as possible and just make a fun, reliable, tire-frying, Hemi-powered Silverado. I'm going to be using some high-quality parts, but it's the minimum to make this thing run down the road. Basically, I'm going to be putting the checkbook into the accoutrements, the engine, tires and wheels, and a little bit in the interior. We're going to be saving thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars by omitting basically the paint. It's staying. Sorry, it's a solid truck, I get it, but we're not going to paint it. We might shine it up, and I got a couple surprises there. Brakes, leaving them alone. Suspension, we're not lowering it, it's going to stay. Shock, springs, rear end, even going to leave that alone, because again, we're trying to keep this cost down. Now obviously the bulk of the expense, or what you would assume would be the Hemi itself that we're going to be putting in here, but it's really not. Again, this one's 13, 14, 17, 9 years old, and they're basically the Dodge / Chrysler LS. They're becoming very, very affordable. I got this one from a friend for a song and a dance and a couple cold snacks, and I ain't kidding you. Search around, be creative, you might surprise yourself. Now clearly there is a tremendous amount of work to do, and starting off it's just myself, and I don't know if I'm going to have any help along the way other than Jessica. I do plan on having this at Holly LS Fest East and Holly Mo Party both, so I've got to get going on this thing. It's going to be a multi-part series. I hope you enjoy. Here's the plan. I don't have one. I'm just going to start tearing into this thing. We got to get the front clip off, the engine and transmission out, fuel tank out, interior off, tires and wheels, strip this thing down. Then we just got to start piecing it back together. So the first order of business, well, let the wrenches fly. So the guy's going to have to take out, pretty much everything that I did. We're going to go ahead and undo that. The good news is I can keep it around for other projects. Battery, the lightning whirler is going to be a nice spare. The radiator looks pretty decent. I already put the digital fan on it. We got some new hoses we can throw in inventory. And then just kind of clean all this stuff up, get the heater core hoses off, the AC lines, we could snip them, maybe even use those holes for electro digicals. And my plan is try to take the whole front clip, the fenders, the front rad support, the grille, the headlights, everything in one swoop after we get the hood off. My son Bradley is here to help. He's pretty good at being a muscle man and likes wrenching as well. And then we'll get the bumper off, of course, before we try to attempt this. But first thing we're going to do is get this hood off, I think. And then a guy can you see what's going on, for Pete's sake? Well, a few minutes later, here's where we're at. Bradley got the radiator pulled out of here. I grabbed the lightning whirler cap, some hoses, miscellaneous vacuum stuff, air inlet tube, got the hood latch disconnected. Kind of just getting it prepped where we can start unbolting the entire front clip here and get it pulled off. Here's kind of the pile of stuff we threw off to the side, and I'm gonna save what I can, you know what I mean? That radiator can go in a truck, easy peasy, and some other stuff. Next step to get the bumper off, I got to get up in here into the grills so I can get down into the body mount bolts that are kind of hidden back in here. There's one right here and one over there. There'll be a bolt on the bottom, bolt up top of the fender here, and then a bolt inside the door. And then this whole front will technically be loose, and I'm hoping that Bradley and I can just wrestle this whole thing off in one piece, and it's going to save time not only now, but of course in reassembly, not having to put the 37,000 different bolts and gidgemagoos and gadget widgets and whatnot in here. GM wiring harnesses, just unplug right from the bulkhead here, super simple. So the wiring can just literally stay intact with the front clip, and we don't have to unplug anything up here. Got this right up in a guy's teeth working on her. I already got the push guards off, first thing I did, and I got this home, but there was still the bolts in. Popped them out quick. They weren't stuck, thankfully. That came out nice and easy. And then I went ahead and just thought, well, I wonder what would happen if I just went ahead and put the ratchet on there. And sure enough, they came off without putting a box end on the top of the body mounts here. Very lucky, but quite a bit of rust. We're gonna have to look at trying to fix on that a little bit, make sure it's not rotted all the way through. I don't think it is. I think it's just dirt and surface rust, but we'll take a close look at it nonetheless. Maybe put some new bushings in there. So now we just got these two bolts on either side, doop doop, on this side, and then we should be able to drop this bumper. Oh, I gotta take the digital light harnesses out of here. There we go. So far, going smooth. I hope the entire day goes like this. Goal is just to get the front clip off, engine transmission out, maybe the drive shaft today. That would be a really good start. All right, you grab that side. I think I got it about ready, or we can get it out. Yeah, there we go. Let me get this one side. You okay over there?
Yep.
All right, watch your head. Well, what the devil could be holding it up? Oh, I see the bracketry. Oh, there we go. Lighter than I thought, huh?
Yeah.
All right, let's go over there. Closer look at these mounts. They are just fine. It's just the bushing and hardware. We'll take a hammer and knock those through, and then the fronts should essentially be loose, and we can move on to the fenders. Knock that up. Where's all this hardware coming from? Bradley's gonna knock those loose next, and I'll work up top and get these knocked out. Sometimes the older models, there's a tab that comes around and goes to the firewall, but not on the 82, I guess. So, ooh, but there is another one looking like right there. Oh, that might just be for the hinge. Okay, we're fine. Just let's relax a little bit, all right? So 4 more bolts, and this whole thing should get wobblier more. Doing my best to document all the spacers in here, but we got a crack loose. Now, if all goes well, we can both muscle each side and slide this right off the front, even with the inner fender wells and everything. Whoops, got one tight here. Whoop, not anymore. Okay, that's loose. We'll kind of just gently ease it out, look for anything we might have missed. Wiring, washer, hood latch stays with the firewall. That's going to be a little tight there. I think we'll be all right. That's loose. Got to clear this bracketry. Oh, not anymore. All right, do you want to... Whoa, you reinstalled it. Do you want to grab that side? I'll take this side. All right. So we're just finishing up taking the engine harness off here, which is like the starter solenoid, oil pressure, you know, stuff like that. Got the throttle cable peeled back, all the vacuum hoses off this thing, the fuel line. Everything's basically disconnected up here, and if you remember, the motor mount bolts weren't even in the thing when I found it. So this is pretty much done and ready. think what we're gonna do now is lift it up, get the shift linkage off, transmission cross member, pull the drive shaft, everything like that, and we should be pulling this thing out before lunch, which would be nice. Check out the rag underneath for the first time. And it's actually, look how solid of a truck this is. Inner rocker. Look at this. These are normally just completely deleted. This truck is in really, really good shape. Needs washed under here. This is all gravel from gravel roads. If you're a country boy, you know what that is. A nice solid rig. Tanks on this side. Okay. Oh, custom exhaust. Look at this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. See? Turn left, it hooks up. Swing right. She's wide open. This is Wi-Fi from here over to this part. See? And then from here to here, it's Bluetooth, but that connection's been a little poor recently. You can probably delete on that. Bradley's gonna disconnect the U-joint here. We'll pull this drive shaft out. And I'm gonna get ready to drop the pan on the Terpsky 350, get all the juice out of it. So when we pull this thing out, it's not dumping out the back here. Long tail shaft. You don't see that a lot. I ain't kidding you. Propulsion tube coming out. Here you go. Set that by the bumper. All right. And then do you want to put these clamps back in the pinion there so we don't lose them? Can't believe I'll clean this. Shift machine juice delete. Push it this way. Jeez, bud. Soaking up Dad's boots. How am I gonna go to town now?
Oh.
See, a little bit at a time. Ooh. That was some nasty looking shift juice.
It is.
Oh, it ain't that bad as far as metal goes. Well, as far as the contents of the pan, I've seen a lot worse, to be honest. It's not terribly bad. I think I'm gonna sell this 6-cylinder and this Terpsky 350 awfully cheap. So I kind of wanted to get in here and see what we were dealing with, just so I could sell it more honestly. Someone's been in here though. This gasket is no bueno. It's actually just like rotting away. Pretty interesting. Well, the guy did go on ahead and clean the pan out. Bradley's going to throw that back up for me. While he's doing that, I'm going to finish deleting the Wi-Fi exhaust and clean up some of the stuff back here.
Never mind.
He'll learn. He'll learn. It's got a broken tab. You got to smack it in. I got rice cooking in the microwave. I got a 3-day beard I don't plan to shave. And it's a goofy thing, but I just gotta say, hey, I'm doing all right. Whoa. I'm making some homemade soup. Why is this, there's so much wire up here. I could have drank beer with this guy, I think. It's like number 9 wire. The good stuff. The good stuff. Wow, for Pete's sake. How? Whoa.
What the heck?
Okay. Huh.
How did so much stuff get in that?
All of this came out of the tail pit there. I sliced her off. How are you coming up here?
Not too good. I got one of the bolts wrong. The pan's slided weird, so when you put them in, they go like sideways.
Oh, yeah. Get them started with your fingers before you give them the torculator. Moses. Well, a transmission crossmember, I don't know. It's been deleted. We took out miscellaneous bolts everywhere, and I believe I could fly. No, that's not right. Oh yeah, I believe we're ready to pull the engine out now. We got a Gatorade bottle hooked onto the PS pump that was dribbling a little juice, but other than that, I think there's only a little bit of coolant left in this thing, but hopefully it won't make a huge mess. So Bradley, go ahead and start cranking this thing. Oh yeah, she's free, ready to rock. Let's get this thing out. All right, why don't you go up just, well here. Okay, now go out, this way. Give her some onions. There we go. Oh, there goes our juice bottle. Shoot. I might need to cut those pipes some more. Okay, we got starter edge dragging. That can come off. That stays with the engine. Okay. Feed her the onions. There you go. A little more uppage. I don't know if that cherry picker is going to go any higher, but go ahead and try. All right, pull her out. There you go, bud. Keep going. Yes, good job, man. Nice and easy down. Hey, we didn't make that big of a mess, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Shoot.
You jinxed it.
Oh, no. There we go. All right. Dirt dauberage. Well, with minimal mess and effort, a couple hours in, engine, transmission, front clip, deleted. I'm gonna clean up a little bit more of the hoses and wiring and some of the big physical stuff that I can grab with the old mitts here. I think we're gonna roll this outside, soak it down with some cleaner, I don't know, oven spray, something cheap that the wife's got under the cabinet there. Pressure wash this, and then you know, let's rebuild the frame up here and everything, clean the firewall up. Boy, there's a lot of wiring I can get into here and just clean on a little bit, I think. Floor dry is out, getting serious. So like the guy went on ahead and mentioned earlier, Holley has swap kits for the C10, which is really cool. Includes the motor mount, hardware and paraphernalia, and the transmission crossmember as well. This stuff here has got to go. Now, if you've ever done a swap in a GM, they have pretty similar crossmembers in here. And getting your phalanges up in here, here, there, or here and here, well, it's near impossible unless you got baby hands. Let's just be honest. So I'm going to get out the old gas axe and just, you know, make them liquid. Get this stuff out. Meanwhile, Bradley, you can go set up the pressure washer. Does that sound good? Mm-hmm. And find some super strong chemicals we can breathe in to, you know, clean this. Might bring the firewall around to a different color. Spruce it up. This white's pretty faded, and I don't think we're going to get much sheen out of it. So what if we just... You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea. Here we go. Don't look right at the sun, okay? Unless you got tinted glasses on. Bad on your eyeball. You can go get a welding helmet on if you want to watch. I wonder what Tracy Lawrence is doing today. He's probably torching something. Well, where is that little devil? Can't see nothing. I think I got it. I don't know. Can you see, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, good. Am I hitting the bolt?
I think so.
There used to be a bolt. Now it's kind of just liquid. There we go. How many fires we got?
16.
Just 3?
No, I said 16.
Grab a big pry bar. Let's see what we got.
All right.
Got the mounts torched out of here. Lots of room for activities now. Haven't read the constructions yet on these mounts, but I'm thinking, yep, just like that. And then obviously a mirror on this side. And then we got to change the Hemi engine mounts, which are like a weird vertical post almost, into what looks like a clamshell setup. And that should do the thing and the stuff. Now we're going to wheel it out and start washing this thing down, try to get it all cleaned and greased and everything else in here. All right, ready, bud?
Yep.
Well, let go of the brakes.
What?
Let go of the brake.
I'm not holding on the brake.
Huh, this brake is sticking. Gonna have to look at that. Okay. You're not hitting the brakes, right?
Nope.
What in the devil? We had excellent brakes pulling it over to the shop, but this tire is dragging. Might just need to get a couple miles on it, or that caliper is now squished up. Add it to the list. Well, let's get some degreaser on here and start spraying, huh? Truck's drying outside, so we're in here organizing tools, cleaning up a little bit. What's the easiest mess to clean, bud?
The one you didn't make.
That's right. Try to do this a couple times a day if I can. That way at the end of the day, you know, can a guy get into the cold snacks quicker? Fellers, this is how you do it. Truck is dry. We just got her back inside, lifted up. We're gonna get this cross member out now. This goofy one here has gotta go. We're gonna be using a Holley one specifically for the Hemi swap and 46RE. Got a bunch of bolts on the side here, and then this particular one, you gotta take this through bolt out, swing this down, and then we can get up in here and get these nuts off. And I don't know if I can get those bolts out or not. We might just have to, you know what I mean? And then clean this up just a little bit more, and then we'll move on to the fuel tank after that. Oh, one more bolt. There we go. Grab your glasses, buddy. Now we can get up into there. Snag them two guys out. Making some room. I think I got to take this out too. I don't see how that's going to work. Now these stubborn little devils. Well, there ain't enough room to get them out. I don't want to bend up the floor. It's in such good shape. in this rig. So I think I'm gonna get the death wheel and ensue some death and just knock them right out of there. This little guy, you know, when you have positive, run it up and keep bringing it down through the frame where it'll wear and, you know, arc out and stuff like that. That's what you need. Runs up to the tail light, so I'm assuming the tail lights don't work. Brake lines look to be in good shape. But we're gonna have to dig into these fuel lines here because we're gonna be running the high PS's of I's. Gotta gently massage this out. We got fuel lines and such right here. Yeah, I got the bolt out, Bradley.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow. Help me understand this. There it is. See, a guy doesn't want to listen to these jiggle around when you're going down the road, you know? Well, with the member that's crossed out of the way, under there, it's deleted on, we're gonna move on to the fuel tank here. Now, if you trust the contents of your fuel tank and you're doing an EFI swap, you could put an external pump on, save a few bucks, put a regulator in there, whatever you want to do. But remember, this truck sat for a decade or longer, I believe, and it was sold as a parts truck. I don't know the contents of this tank. I don't trust it, and I can assure you they're not good. One thing you really don't want to do with fuel injection is send crud through your injectors. They're a little more picky than, you know, the old 4-bar carburetor. You know what I mean? So we're going to go ahead and just drop this tank, do an in-tank pump, put a new tank in, and, you know, we're going to hit a bird with 8 stones, or whatever that saying is. I craned my neck in here, and I got some hose clamp laters I got to get down, and then we're going to have a send and return up here, and a vent, and of course our beep boop digital wire. All of that's basically going to be redone. So I could start hacking, cutting, sawing, get the straps off, get this tank down. Well, everything is unbolted. But we're at the impossible part, yeah, where the fuel lines are steel and they jump across little pieces of rubber that you can't reach up here and go right back into steel again. And this comes all the way over to here. So somehow, from the fact, well, I know how, the bed's not on it. But at this point, you'd have to try to snake everything in like that, and it ain't gonna happen. So what I'm gonna do, because I'm not gonna use these anyway, at least until this point, I can maybe tie into them here. I have not decided. I might do AN all the way up, depending on where I put the fuel up here into the engine, which I haven't even looked at. No idea where it enters that spacecraft. So I'm gonna try to stick a sawzall up here and just snag them off up there quick, and then we could bring it down easier. There's definitely some rotten fuel in here. Hear that? Reached up in here, got the vent and the filler neck undone. Ground is off. Those were carotid off up there. Rather go ahead and let her down a little bit. There we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, try to grab it. There you go. Don't want to break that wire. There. Piece of cake. Nope. Terrible. Get this old dog out of here. Have a bunch of lawnmower fuel at least. Oh yeah, like 8 gallons? No, 9. Well, here's where that tank was hiding. And again, just such a clean truck. I'm gonna take this old muffler bracket tray off that was all bent up, wire wheel this frame down, get some rubber undercoating up in here. After I treat kind of this, I mean, it's not even really surface rust. I could probably wipe, yeah, I just wipe it off with my finger. It's more dirt maybe there. Gonna bang that in with a hammer. That got hooked on something. Spray this down, basically rebuild all of this really quick, and prep it for that new tank going in. Guys, just using some undercoating in here. It just bothers me to put something back, you know, that you're not going to do again in a long time unless you get her whipped up. Just using this rubber undercoat. Make sure you're not trapping any moisture up in there, fellers, before you do that, because instead of preventing rust, the guy's going to create it. Next thing I'm going to do on this frame, I've wire wheeled the snot out of this thing. I'm going to run this rust fix over it, and it's going to have some sort of a science effect and turn all of the surface rust black. Attack it, kill it, shut it down. And then once that's dry, I'll come in with some DE 1635, paint this chunk of the frame, and then it's pretty much prepped for that new tank to go in. Killing rust. Attacking rust, brand new frame, brand new frame. This is going good. Boy, the smell of this stuff is, it's up there. You know it's working. There we go. Let that eat for a few minutes. Oh, it's raining. Moses. Well, I'm not even sure how to tell you this. I'm just going to say it. I ran out of spray paint. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there. I'll correct it, though. I think we're in a good spot, though, to shut her down for today anyway. I want to spend some time with the family before it's 0 dark 30 out. What a tremendous day. Brad and I really dug into this thing. We got the front clip off right away. That didn't really fight us. The straight 6 and Terpsky 350 transmission plopped right out of this thing. It was definitely ready. We power washed, cleaned everything, dropped that fuel tank, and we've got that rubber undercoated and painted, ready for the new fuel tank to come in. Now stay tuned, because there's obviously a ton left on this build. Coming up next, we've got more cleaning, painting, prepping. We haven't even talked about the interior yet. And then hopefully shortly after that, we'll be dropping that big 5.7 liter Hemi in this bad boy right here. I can't wait to see this thing on the road. Thanks guys for watching. Appreciate it very much. We'll see you soon. Goat snack time.